Hello and welcome to the Martini Shot. My name is Brandon and today I'm going to be reviewing the 2022 psychological thriller, Don't Worry Darling. But before I do that, let's make like a 1950s housewife and get day drunk with this bright and bubbly cocktail I've named Visions of Victory. And if you enjoy movie reviews and movie-themed cocktails, be sure to like and subscribe if you'd like to help support the channel. The 1950s weren't exactly ushering us into a new age of memorable cocktails. I mean, do you even remember the last time someone ordered a pink squirrel? Do you even know what that is? While the 50s may not have been very revolutionary towards the development of our favorite drinks, they sure as hell at least enjoyed the classics. For me, the 50s generates images of pinstripe suits, big hair, and in the hand, a classy, sophisticated drink packed with enough spirits to help them forget that they were on the potential cusp of a full-on nuclear war. My cocktail, Visions of Victory, takes inspiration from the time period and many of the cocktails we see our characters indulge in throughout the film. It contains vodka, one of the most popular spirits of the time, along with a few raspberries to bring in some natural sweetness, some dry vermouth to balance it out, and a body of bubbling rosé champagne. It's a solid encapsulation of many of the hottest ingredients of the time, and one that just might take over your pretty little life. Let's get into it. All right, this is going to be a mixed drink, so get your mixing glass out. We're gonna go ahead and start with our base spirit, which is going to be our vodka. Now, a lot of the drinks of this time period were very spirit forward. Most of the ingredients were just other versions of alcohol, so there wasn't a lot to cut with it. So we're gonna cut down our base spirit just a tad, just so it's not too much of an overwhelming drink, and we're just gonna stick with 1.5 ounces of vodka. And now we're gonna go ahead and skip a couple ingredients and go straight to our bitters. We're gonna be doing 3 dashes of orange bitters. And the reason we are doing that is because we're gonna be doing a little bit of muddling, and when you're muddling ingredients, whether it be fruit or sugar, you don't wanna completely fill up your glass because then it just becomes a big sloshing mess. So we are going to be doing a couple raspberries into here. I found about 5 will do.
When you try your best, but you don't succeed.
All right, so now you're gonna go ahead and muddle until it's a nice, admittedly disgusting looking paste. Now let's go ahead and throw some vermouth in there. I am using a dry vermouth, Dolan to be exact. This is basically going to kind of give the cocktail a little bit more balance. So it's not as sweetness forward because of the raspberries. I think a nice balance brought to a cocktail really goes a long way. And for the vermouth, we're only gonna do about 1/2 ounce. And now finally, what makes up most of the body of this drink is going to be our rosé champagne. There's a couple different brands you can choose from out there, but I am actually going with my favorite Prosecco brand, La Marca. I don't think it really matters whether or not you're using a champagne or a Prosecco. Most people won't really be able to tell the difference. There are some champagne snobs out there that will tell you differently, but I'm just a filthy casual, so I don't mind it. And we're gonna be doing 3 ounces of our rosé champagne. Let's go ahead and throw a heaping amount of ice in there and stir to chill. Now we are going to be double straining this into a coupe glass, chilled preferably. You definitely are going to want to double strain on this one just to kind of keep that pulp and the seeds of the raspberries out of the final product to keep it nice and clean looking. All right, drink itself is done, but let's go ahead and throw 1 little cherry in there just to bring it all home. And there you have it. There is the Visions of Victory. Let's go ahead and give it a taste. So yeah, it opens up with those very nice, very sweet raspberries and some of that rosé champagne. It's real light, it's real bubbly. But then as it kind of lingers in your mouth, you get some of that dry vermouth. It never really lets the sweetness overstay its welcome. It really kind of balances out, giving that little lasting dryness at the end, I think really benefits from this. That makes it less of a headache-inducing drink than I'm sure this could have been. But yeah, it's kind of an encapsulation of what I was kind of going for this drink. It was based a lot on those drinks of the time that were very boozy. They usually kind of relied on a lot of vermouth, a lot of dry vermouth, a lot of martinis back then. So that was kind of what I was trying to encapsulate here, and I think it works out pretty well. The raspberries and the rosé work out really well. You get just the slightest hint of citrus from those orange bitters that comes in really, really nice, not only from a taste point of view, but also from a smell point of view. So yeah, a very well-balanced cocktail, very easy to drink, but definitely a lot of alcohol packed in there. I think a lot of people are really gonna enjoy this one. Now that we have our drink, let's jump straight into the review of Don't Worry Darling. All right, let's get the elephant in the room out of the way, the big controversy, the unshushable drama that has floated over this film like a jean jacket cloud for months. Nick Kroll is in this film, and somehow I wasn't plagued with visions of Coach Steve from Big Mouth every time I saw him. In all seriousness though, what a stacked dirt sheet this film had prior to its release. The top star allegedly on bad terms with the director, the leading actor replacing a known abuser, who then became entangled in an affair with the director, who was already married to Ted Lasso. Before this film even hit the screen, people had most likely made up their minds on how they'd feel about it. But I would never risk my own, highly regarded integrity on such assumptions. I mean, director Olivia Wilde's first feature film, Booksmart, is a film I really enjoyed. Plus, the film stars one of my absolute favorite actresses working today in Florence Miss Flo Pugh. And also Harry Styles is here too. My wife would be remiss if I didn't mention that. What I'm getting at is that I want a film like this to succeed, and truthfully, this film has many successes. The performances for the most part are pretty great, the film looks gorgeous in both its cinematography and set design, and it can actually be a little surprising where it takes its mystery. But when you get down to the meat and potatoes of it, it wasn't nearly as unique as I was hoping. The premise, twists, and underlying themes don't exactly come together in a very satisfying or cathartic way, leading to a film that felt a tad too familiar for my taste. Let's circle back to the positives though. Florence Pugh, to the surprise of no one who has a clue, is fantastic. She's completely believable in her downward spiral as she continues to be gaslit by those around her into believing there's nothing out of the ordinary in their perfect little lives in the Victory Project. Her descent into self-doubt eventually ignites her rebellion against a conformity the project itself claims to be rebelling against. If you've seen Midsommar, you know just how capable Florence is at capturing uneasiness and emotional damage through her pained facial expressions, which are out in full force here. While she is certainly the backbone of the film, there are some solid supporting performances, including Chris Pine as Frank, the shady architect of the Victory Project. His smug self-importance makes him a solid antagonist, and while I don't think we really get enough of where this character could go, I did at least enjoy what we got out of him. And I guess I should talk about Harry Styles, who, look, I think you guys have been a little mean towards in his performance. Truthfully, I think he does just an okay job. It's just that he can't even hope to stand against some of the other seasoned actors alongside him. He's a small fish in a very big pond that has some merits, but his talents are absolutely dwarfed by the bigger fish. He doesn't even really sing here. Seemed like an easy win there. He does dance though, but we're not going to talk about that. The film is at least pleasant to look at with its vibrant colors and some intriguing visual ideas. I only wish those ideas had more depth to them. That's the issue I keep coming back to. The ideas at work here could have worked well, but the world the film builds upon feels disappointingly half-baked and uninspired. The retro setting doesn't really bring more to the table beyond its obvious themes of toxic masculinity of a world dominated by men. Once you're finally let in on what the world truly is, it still feels underdeveloped and a tad too obvious. An obvious destination isn't always a bad thing, but after seeing many other films with similar premises, it does little to spark much substantial commentary beyond what you already guessed from the beginning. While its visuals are intriguing to look at, many of them feel like their existence is only there to be unsettling or strange, never tying into a greater purpose beyond shocking the viewer. Gotta say, I'm a bit disappointed in this one. While there is some competence in the technicals and the acting, it mostly falls flat thanks to an underdeveloped world building and a predictable story that leads to an expected, yet unsatisfying conclusion. Yet, no matter how lackluster this film turned out to be, I think we can all agree on one thing. It's better off for not having Shia LaBeouf in it. For my rating, I'm giving this film 3 happy pills out of 5. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of The Martini Shot. If you saw Don't Worry Darling, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. And if you like what you saw here and would like to see more, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow me across all social media channels. Those links are down in the description below. And if you enjoy movie reviews and movie-themed cocktails, be sure to check out my website, martinishot.blog. Until next time, thank you again for watching. I will see you in the next one. Live deliciously, but please remember to drink responsibly.
Thank you.